In this video, all words that sound RCP refers to Reflected Ceiling Plan. Open my A4 RCP drawing, and if you are in paper space, you can see 3 drawings with 2 different scales. This means also that you can see 3 viewports. Click on Output and click Preview to see how the printout will look like. Right-click to exit and then click Model tab. This is how the model space is drawn, and we will start drawing it. Again, open the BT2 sheet title block drawing from the reference folder, and on the paper space, erase all diagrams on the left and right sides of the plotting area. Click on Model tab and erase these. We already know that one viewport is on scale 1:100. Set Active Layer to XREF, and from your Base Plan folder, attach your floor plan. Again, click Attach, and from your reference folder, attach your grids file, if you already have this. From the reference folder, attach the cornice details drawing that I gave you. You will notice that the cornice details are shown very small on the model space. Let's take a closer look. The scale is supposed to be 1:2. Now, erase the remaining items to clear up the model space. Type XC for X-clip to clean up the XREF floor plan. Type X-clip frame and change the value to 0. Freeze the roof shape, doors, and the section cutting planes. Save this drawing at the folder Sheets and name it A4 RCP, your name. When prompted with XREF relative paths, just click Update. Go back to my RCP sheet file and take a look at the 2 types of wood cornices. You will notice that they reside on layer cornice. Copy the wood cornices from my RCP sheet file into your drawing. Right-click and select Clipboard and click on Copy. Switch back to your RCP file and right-click for Clipboard and Paste. Paste the copy on the side of your drawing. On your drawing, the layer name cornice is also copied into your file. Let's set dimension style to dim 50 for a while and dimension the 2 types of wood cornices. It's 101 for wood 1 and 65 for wood 2. Let's check the detail and change the dimension setting to dim 10. Dimension the ceiling edge of the cornice from the wall surface, and they also read 101 and 65 respectively. At this point, lock layer XREF so it won't be altered. Set the active layer to cornice and start tracing the inside faces of the interior walls. You can use rectangles for rectangular rooms and polylines for non-rectangular room shapes. When polyline is used, click at all wall corners and just type C to close the polyline at the end. This is cabinet. Where there is wardrobe, closet, or cabinet that goes all the way up to the ceiling, trace the sides and front of the cabinet. All rooms except bath and powder room shall use WD1. You can indicate this on the room finish schedule. Change the color of the inner lines of the cornice into yellow or 2. They remain to be on layer cornice. Now you can see the wood cornices as completed. On my RCP sheet file, Copy the light fixtures drawn that you may use on your RCP sheet file. Use right-click to select Clipboard and select Copy. Go to your RCP sheet file and right-click to select Clipboard and click on Paste. Paste them on the side of your sheet. When these items are selected, the layer named Lights is also copied into your layer organization. Now you have finished laying out your lights at the ceiling. In working with your eaves, you may want to copy the hatch that I used in my RCP sheet file. You can also use your own hatch style. Let's copy the hatches using clipboard copy and paste them outside your RCP sheet plan. Freeze the layer grid lines to remove lines temporarily. They will interfere with hatching. Set the active layer to hatch eaves. Use polyline or lines to create close boundaries that can be hatched. I used wood planks running perpendicularly against the exterior walls. You can change the direction and scale of the planks, depending on how you want the eaves ceiling to look like. It can even be plain finish. We will do the same for the cabinets that go all the way up to the ceiling. Where there are ceiling-high cabinets, the cornice will use the cabinet as its boundaries also. If there are fixtures or elements drawn under the cabinets, freeze them first before hatching. Layer thaw the fixtures after hatching. Layer thaw the grid lines after finishing the hatches. Room names and numbers are required in RCP. Open your sheet drawing floor plan and copy the room name and symbol into your RCP sheet file. Scale down the room name and symbol to 0.8 of its size. This will allow important notations to be more readable. Then, the last part of the work shall be to place notations to identify materials. Now, we are going to start layouting the viewports for this sheet. Switch to paper space. Type viewports, S for single, then F for fit. Type L for last, and move the viewport outside the print area. Double-click inside the viewport and place your plan on the center. Then change the viewport scale to 1:100. Click outside the viewport and reduce its size by dragging two of the corner grips. Change the viewport layer to guide so the border won't print. Move the viewport inside the print area closer to the title block. Copy the viewport outside to work on the cornice viewports. Double-click inside the viewport and pan the drawing until you can see the cornices. Change the viewport scale to 1:2, as the scale indicates. Center the cornice on the viewport. Copy the viewport Adjust the viewport to show only WD1. Adjust the other viewport to show WD2. Start adjusting the positions of the viewport. Now set active layer to 0 as a good practice. Draw horizontal and vertical lines to create viewport borders. Type PE to edit and change the lines to polyline. Changing a line to polyline will enable you to change the width of the line. I use 0.5 for border width. Select the 3 viewports and right-click to lock the display. You can actually lock the display immediately after changing the viewport scale. Click on each viewport to check if you have the right scale. Copy the drawing title and numbers on the other 2 viewports. Change the titles accordingly and the drawing numbers. Where you have 2 lines on the title, reduce the size of the second line. I always use 75% or 0.75 of its original scale. Change the sheet number to A4. Change the drawing contents by writing all the drawing titles. Change the student name to your name. Examine the line types. Change the LT scale value to 6. Preview. I need to change the line weight of the wall and columns to lighter line weight. Switch back to model and from the layer manager, click on XREF layer A wall, and while holding the control key, click on the column, then change the color to red. Go back to paper space and click preview. If the preview displays in color, that means the BT2 CTB is not set properly. Go back to page setup manager and change the CTB file into any one of the list. Click preview, then change the CTB back to BT2 and it will now display properly. Exit all the dialog boxes and the work is finished.